When you're looking to add more living space to your home, redoing the basement is an excellent place to start.
Create more storage space right under the stairs.
And find a new way to hide those unsightly poles. All that and more on today's Gimme Shelter. Hello and welcome to Gimme Shelter. I'm Robin Kipp.
And I'm Harvey. Now, today we're out in the suburbs at a beautiful house that's less than 8 years old. Now, the family that lives here is the family that built this house. They've lived here since day one, and they find themselves today out of space. Now, how in the world do you run out of space in less than 8 years?
Well, when Kathy and Ray moved in here, they only had one child and one small baby. Since then, they've had another child, and the kids are taking over the first floor. So, where do you put all the kids' things?
Well, if you're like my father, you threaten to throw them out on the lawn, but that's probably not a good option for Kathy and Ray. So, I mean, you're faced with three choices. You either buy a new, bigger house, add on more space, or try to utilize space that's already there but not being well used. That's exactly what our homeowners are going to do. They're going to convert their basement.
But there's several things you need to check before you do any conversion of any basement. So let's go to troubleshooter Tony Buck, who will tell us what to do before the work begins.
When you renovate your basement, there's a lot of things you're going to be doing. New flooring, which could be tile or carpet, new walls, ceiling, and furnishings. This is a large investment. It's definitely worth it, but we need to protect that investment. And one of the things we need to do is waterproof these walls because water is going to try and come in through here. But before we do that, what we need to do is check the outside of your house. I cannot stress how important this is. Many basement problems, believe it or not, begin out here and, in fact, up there. There's a gutter on the top part of that roof which brings the water in a rainstorm down the downspout to this gutter here. Now this gutter brings the water on down this downspout here. And if you don't have something like this, which is a piece of downspout connected to this downspout, running the water 3 or 4 feet from your house, the water's going to end up going down between the garden and the wall. And it's going to find its way into the basement no matter what you do because there's a pressure to that water. Now at home you might have a drain in the garden and this downspout may go down into the drain. Make sure that drain is unblocked and the water flows away nicely. Now there's another nice feature about this house. We've got the landscaping just right for water drainage. It's high at the house and it slopes away so that if that gutter up there gets blocked with leaves or snow and overflows, the water drops here and runs away. Because no matter what you do downstairs with waterproofing, if you've got water penetrating the walls up here, it's going to get through. There's nothing in the world can stop the pressure of this water. Now we've done that, we're ready to prep the walls before we waterproof. Now that means, take a look at this block here. We've got some efflorescence on this block. That's this white powdery stuff. That's minerals coming out of the brick because it's a little bit damp. We need to get rid of that before we put the waterproofing on. And the way we do that is we mix a little bit of this etching material into the water. Follow the instructions on the can, mix it in, it makes up a nice etching solution. You'll need safety glasses for this because you don't want to splash this stuff in your eyes. So we go up like this to the block with a brush and we apply it to the block. And there it is going on and it's dealing with that efflorescence already, that powdery. It's killing it. It's a living thing, I think, and possibly just powder, and we take that, and then we'll need a plant sprayer like this. This is a Rolls-Royce version. You don't need quite this. You can take one of those little hand ones that you use for your plants at home, and that's worked in a little bit there. And now we can wash that off a little bit, rinse it off with the plant sprayer like that. And then you can take a cloth like this and just dap it on to help it dry a bit quicker. Now that's one sort of thing you'll have to take care of before you waterproof. Another thing will be holes in the wall or gaps, and you can use a fast-drying cement mixture for that. That's got additives in like epoxy, and that'll take care of the big holes. But for the small holes and cracks, we're going to use this one. This is a trade secret. We just learned about this from one of the craftsmen. This is a polyurethane concrete and masonry sealant. Now, we've all used silicone, we've all used latex, but this is polyurethane based, and that's what you must ask for if you're filling small cracks in a basement wall, because it's very hard for cement to get into small cracks. I'll show you how to put this on. As you can see, we've got a very good wall here, but I'm going to demonstrate how you put it on for you. So we can use this very liberally. Put a lot of it in on the wall like that, where the crack might be, just like that. Really, really pile it on. That's the best way to go with that. And then I'm going to take a piece of wood or a spatula and just spread it over where the crack would be. That creates a nice big membrane which will hold back any water or dampness that might get on the outside wall. Now, I know at home you're thinking, he's got a really nice wall there. My walls look terrible. All the cement's fallen down and the covering, and you've probably got a stone wall. But what you need to do is parge those walls with a cement mixture before you put the waterproofing on, because you just can't put drywall up in front of a bad looking wall. It's got to be nice and tidy, cement like this, and all the cracks filled. And then when you've done all that, you're ready to waterproof.
Down in the basement where all the work on this house is going on, I'm standing right now next to the hot water heaters. We're in a kind of a utility area, and right next to that is what's going to be a powder room, part of our addition going on downstairs here. Now in the powder room, what do you have? A toilet and a sink. Now here beside me is the main drain of the house. This is what they call the waste line or the soil line that goes around the room and out into the sewage system. So if the drain is up here and the toilet's sitting on the floor, however you say, water doesn't flow uphill, how do you get it up there? That is a problem in a basement addition, and we'll show you how we solve it. And here is the beginning of our solution. Now, this is Barry Messer, our plumber working on site here. And Barry, tell us how you've solved this problem, because this is a particularly, tough one. We're down below the soil line.
Well, first of all, we broke up the floor, and we started the hole, and we ran into some heavy shale and rock in here. So we had to basically jackhammer and hammer out to get the pit deep enough so we could get the toilet and the drain lines in.
It looks like what a lot of people have in their basement as a sump pump or a sump pit, but this is a slightly different variation.
This in here is basically for a sewage pump. It has a sealed top on it. Your wastewater goes inside. The pump pumps it up into the sewer line, versus where your sump pump, the water has to go outside into the grass or into the storm drain.
Actually, this is sort of like a little tiny mini septic tank.
Correct.
In a way.
Right.
Because your solids would fall to the bottom, but you have the pump in here that pumps everything.
Correct.
Up into the soil line.
Everything up into the
solids and liquid included.
Correct.
All right. So it's really about the only solution we could use in this setting.
Correct. That's if you want a powder room, this is the only way we can do it.
All right. So we've got a little more digging to get to make room for this to go in, right?
Correct. We got to clean it out and level it up, and then we'll be ready to start our plumbing.
All right. I'll let you get working here again.
All right.
The latest way to hide those basement poles, but first we finish the powder room's pit and pump next.